We won a game. Can you believe it? After 6 agonizing losses in a row, the Astros finally win a game. 1-0 over the Seattle Mariners. Because why not? So hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to recap Game 15 of the regular season. Astros over the Mariners, like I said, 1-0. Because this is how we're going to do it. Getting quickly into it, Zack Attack was on the mound for the Astros. He pitched a gem tonight. So on to the first inning. Tucker popped up to start with. HOU1-SEA0 would then ground out, fly out, excuse me. Brantley doubled. That was the only double we had. That was the only extra base hit in the game, actually. And Correa would ground out to end the first inning. In the bottom of the first, the Mariners went 1-2-3. Second inning, both teams would go 1-2-3. In third, Castro would strike out, Straw would single, Tucker would single, and then HOU1-SEA0 would ground into a double play, which was a bit of a bummer. Bottom half of the third, a fly out, single, and then back-to-back strikeouts, and the third for Zack Attack. He was rolling at this point, and he would roll all game. In the fourth, the Astros would get the only run of the game. Brantley singled to lead off, Correa would strike out, Diaz singles to right center, Toro grounds out, but it's a fielder's choice, and now you have runners at the corners. And Taylor Jones, the Seattle native, who was a diehard Mariners fan growing up, would single to put the Astros on the board, 1-0. And Castro would strike out to end the fourth, and that was pretty much it for that offense. That was the only score of the day. So we can probably get through this pretty quickly. Bottom of the fourth, strikeout starts it, pop out, ground out, with a nice pick by HOU1-SEA0 to get that out in the fourth. In the fifth, Straw would single, Tucker would ground out, but it moved Straw over to second. HOU1-SEA0 would ground out, and Brantley would ground out to end the top of the fifth. And the bottom, a leadoff single, and then another single would put the Mariners with a runner at second. This would be the only runner that got to second base for the Mariners tonight. A line out to HOU1-SEA0, which was a pretty nice catch by him, and then Greinke gets a hot shot right back to him, hits him in the glove, and he drops it. I choose to think he dropped it on purpose. That's what I truly believe. It looked like a conscious effort of, if I drop this, I can get a double play. Dropped it, and he pump faked every single base until he finally threw to third, and then a throw to second, got a double play to end that inning. A brilliant play by Zack Attack, and man, how do you not love this guy? In the sixth, Correa would lead off with a single, Diaz would then go into a double play, and Toro would single just for Jones to pop out. So that was a bit of a bummer. In the bottom half, a 3-pitch strikeout to start it, beautiful strikeout by Zack Attack, a ground out and then a line drive, single past HOU1-SEA0, and then to end it, a diving single by Yuli Gurriel. Beautiful play. Split-second reaction time. HOU1-SEA0, man. Pretty good defender at first base, kind of underrated. In the seventh, Castro would single, Straw would pop out, Tucker would pop out, and HOU1-SEA0 would ground out because our offense was pretty much inept. Both offenses were, actually. Bottom half of the seventh, a nasty changeup to end the first batter on 3 strikes by Zack Attack. Oh, it was a beautiful pitch by him. And then another gorgeous, just nasty 67-mile-an-hour curveball gets the second batter. Strikes out the first 2, and then a ground out to Correa ends the 7th. In the 8th, Brantley would strike out, Correa would walk. That was the only walk tonight by either team. Diaz would strike out, and Toro would fly out. The M's would go 1-2-3. In the 9th, the Astros would go 1-2-3. And then the only questionable decision by Dusty Baker tonight is Presley would come in. I would have been fine letting Greinke roll. I think he was at like 91 or 92 pitches, so I would have been fine letting him go another one, maybe get that complete game shutout. But he brings in Presley, and it went well. A nice strikeout to start it, a ground out, and then a grounder back to HOU1-SEA0 to end the 9th. And that was it for the Astros and Mariners game. It was pretty quick. 4 minutes. That's going to be one of the fastest of the year. It was a great game by Zack Attack. He pitched fabulously. Pitching lines. Zack Attack, 8 innings, 4 hits, no walks, no runs, 6 strikeouts. Presley only needed 1 inning of work, 1 hit, no hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. And that was it. Pretty quick. 5 minutes not even, and we're to final thoughts. The offense was awful. 1 run is not going to win you hardly any games that aren't just absolute gems and really memorable games, and this is won by Zack Attack. So the offense was, like I said, dead. Taylor Jones had another good night. I say good night. He had 1 hit, but it was an RBI single. And that was really all our offense could muster, you know. Again, only the 1 extra base hit by Michael Brantley in the first inning, which was crazy. And pitching-wise, Zack Greinke, best game as an Astro, bar none. This was just an immaculate gem by Zack Greinke. 8 shutout innings of baseball with no walks. He had perfect control tonight, and he was just unbelievable tonight. 6 strikeouts, a little bit low, but it's Zack Greinke, so that's what you can imagine. And going into the game after the last outing, he didn't like his slider, and so he said in quotes, "I might never throw it again because I don't like it anymore." And he didn't throw a single slider this game, if I'm not mistaken, which is, Zack Greinke is just a gem of a human, isn't he? Zack Greinke. If you can't get Verlander to resign, you gotta lock him up for another 2 years, I feel. Because I want to have a veteran presence who's been in this league for a very long time in the clubhouse, specifically in the pitching staff, or on the pitching staff. So I would like to re-sign Greinke for 2-3 years after this. Maybe have his career end in Houston. Or Verlander, one of the two I feel is very necessary to lock down. And, I would have been fine leaving Greinke in for the whole game. This brings us to our only other real note. Ryan Pressly, he came in relief for the 9th, got the save. Fantastic outing. And Ryan Pressly this season has showed us that he is that 2019 Ryan Pressly. That's still in there. And he seems to be going back to that version, because the 2020 Ryan Pressly was it was rough. It was a rough Ryan Pressly to watch. But so far this season, I think he's pitched in 3 or 4 games, and he's been fantastic in all of them. Another 1-2-3. I don't believe he's allowed a run this season yet. And just sat him down. 1-2-3, got a strikeout. It's good to see this Ryan Pressly back, especially in that closer role. So hopefully that's a theme for the season. And that was it. So Astros, is this how you want to do it? The 1-0 game, pull your hair out games? Is this how we're going to play? Fair enough. We snap a 6-game losing streak, which was rough. So we're back above 500. Please, Astros, for the love of God, don't straddle this line like you did last year, because that was a hair-pulling contest from start to finish. So like I said, that's really it for the game. Jay Odorizzi will be on the mound tomorrow for the Astros. Starts at 3:10 Central, 4:10 Eastern, so my time zone will be 4:10. And I'll be here to recap it after that happens. So this is the quickest one of the year, I believe. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. And go Astros.